Hello everyone, my name is Cole2. Welcome to part 1 of our ComputerCraft tutorial series. Yay! I decided I was going to do this series when I was looking through ComputerCraft sort of logs and things when I was trying to find it out myself, which by the way, I think ComputerCraft is the best mod in Minecraft, hands down. But why I decided to make my own tutorial series out of this was because I found that when I was trying to figure out ComputerCraft, there wasn't really any helpful tutorials that built you from the ground up in your understanding of ComputerCraft, and that's what I really hope to do here, is to take the basics and move all the way up to the top to more advanced things. So let's just get started. Know that this series is going to be, like I said, very basic to the higher up standards, but you'll need to know the basic stuff before you move on to the advanced. So without further ado, let's head out to the presentation platform here. And I'm just going to go through in this tutorial what each little block does in ComputerCraft. I'm not going to display all of them, but I'm going to display the ones that we're going to be using in the first few video series. So, this is a standard computer, you know, pretty basic. I can type on it, I can do a whole bunch of things. This is where we're going to be coding. This is basically your block in ComputerCraft. Everything else is secondary. Now, you can kind of think of the computer as the brain, because although it can do stuff on its own, we typically tell the computer to do other things to do work for us. And I'll explain that later in a different video. But here we have the advanced computer. It's like the computer, except it can just do a few more things. Don't let the title confuse you. It's really not that different at all. Some of the things it can do that the normal computer can't is it can use colors, it can use the cursor, which is a really cool feature. It acts more like a real computer. But don't let that throw you off. The only real difference between them is this one's fancier and it costs more. So, yeah. Here we have the disk drive, excuse me. You can put it underneath any computer, advanced or regular computer. It works for both. And you put a disk drive in it, or excuse me, a floppy disk, as we can see here. You just insert that in there, and it's used for storing information in the third party. I can take the disk out, put it in a different disk drive that's hooked up to a different computer, put it in, and I have the same information. Here we have a printer. You can physically print out pieces of paper, information, logs, security breaches, that sort of thing printed out. The printer is really cool. It's one of my favorite out of all these blocks here. We'll get into that later, like everything else. But here's a turtle. A lot of people really like the turtle. Just think of the turtle as a computer that can walk and has an inventory. There are a lot of variations of the turtle, and that's why I showed you this. This is pretty much the most jacked up version of a turtle you're going to get, because it has this thing. I don't even know what this does. It has a wireless modem on the back of it. It's advanced. If we ever get this far in the tutorial series, I will explain this, but there are a lot of things we need to discuss before we get to this, so don't worry about that. Here we have monitors, the monitor and the advanced monitor. Again, don't let the name throw you off in the look. They're really fundamentally the same, except the monitor just displays information, just like they both display information without you having to right click on them. Notice I can't right click on them. They can just display text. Think of it as a TV screen, really. You don't have to code it or anything. You can hook it up to a computer and it'll display information. With the advanced monitor, just like the advanced computer, it can use colors, and also you can click on it from out here. So that's a pretty neat feature. Here we have the wireless modem and the wired modem. Now think of these two things as the internet. You either have a wireless connection or you have a wired connection. The wired modem, it connects computers that are only connected by this little cable here. See, the modem is this thing at the base here, and then I added a little cable at the top for you to see. We can put more on them. Oh, hold on. See, we can extend these and connect to different computers. The wireless modem is a lot more hands-free, except it has a range that computers can only work within that range. So, you know, it's a little bit of give and take either way, but just think of it as the internet for now. You can set up a whole network with computers. It's one of the really unique features of ComputerCraft, and one of the best in my opinion. So we'll definitely be working with that later. Alright, I will tell you that a lot of my videos will be short, sweet, and to the point, because I want people, if they ever have a question about one specific aspect of ComputerCraft, I don't want them to have to watch like a 20-minute video covering 4 different topics when they could just be watching one video covering one topic. So, before I go, I will show you a typical setup of a ComputerCraft that will fit your basic needs if you want to follow along in this tutorial in your survival map, or if you want to follow along in creative. And here's our setup. In the middle you can see we have a computer, below that we have the disk drive, then we have the printer to the right, and the monitor to the left. Also we have the wireless modem on the top. You could have a wired modem, it doesn't really matter. Just remember that all of these things have to be directly touching the computer. They have to be linked to the computer physically. They can't be diagonal, they have to be actually have a face touching the computer. You could have an advanced monitor and an advanced computer, but for our purposes we won't be needing those for several videos in our tutorial series until we go down later along the series. Alright, make sure you're comfortable with all the things we've talked about, and once you're confident with them, go ahead and proceed on to the next video in this series where we'll be talking about basics of